Well, it's day 10. It's funny, it started off as a really heavy day, and then I kinda got in the workflow, and then ended up pretty heavy. I'd also like to talk about Alex for a little bit tonight too. This morning was pretty hard. It's just really cold. For some reason, I was praying on my way to work. I had a little bit of a breakdown. Not my car, just all of the emotions that I'm going through. Things that I just couldn't fight back anymore. Just needed to pour out. I got a big day tomorrow. It's a big court date. So as I expressed to those around me that I work with, I asked them for my forgiveness or for their forgiveness as my grips on the stage of denial are loosening and coming closer into the acceptance of what is becoming, what is unfolding. I'll probably give a lot more of an update maybe soon on that. It's just a lot of private stuff, family stuff. Essentially a custody battle. It's my little girl. And although I think my case is pretty strong, and so does my lawyer, it seems like the trend has been with the courts a lot of hurry up and wait for the protocol. And a lot can happen. A lot of different things can happen tomorrow. No promises, no whatever. Um, Best case scenario is that I get to pick up my girl soon. Worst case scenario is that, well, I don't want to entertain the worst case scenario, but anyway, it's just a lot to process. And I guess during the workday, it really unfolded itself that I'm not alone and I'm just surrounded by all of the blessings of the people that I work with. That is just so huge to me. I really, really am in the best job I've ever had, and especially blessed with the people that I work with. Thank you, God. It's a long day today. Worked close to 12 hours. So I'm pretty tired. It started off with me praying a rosary. It ended up with me praying a rosary. The like doing a rosary, work. Prayed with a grieving family. And that always gives me context that I am surrounded by people that are having a lot worse time than I am. And there was one more thing I was going to say about that. Oh, I was coming home, and a lot of the message just came reinforcing about total surrender. I was thinking about it on my way home from work. I was thinking about how even if things go south tomorrow, I know that I've put together the best possible case that I can with my lawyer. I've I've scrounged up every penny that I have to pay her. And I know at the end of the day, I've done all that I possibly can, and it is just in God's hands. And this message of surrender. My anchor sent me something pretty special. I'll read it. And it's just been a lot. I've been kind of meditating on it for the past half hour. I'll just kind of read it aloud. It's his handwriting too. Take, Lord, and receive all of my liberty, my memory, my understanding, my entire will, all I love, and all I call my own. It's a lot. This is a lot for me to take in. Let's see what I'm meditating on. Talk about just stepping out of my way. You have given to me, to you, Lord, and you've given to me, O Lord. It's you, Lord. I return it. Everything is yours. Do with it what you will. Give me only your love and your grace. That's enough. Came from Saint Ignatius of Loyola. And then he went on for another message as well. When you need, God knows. When you ask, God listens. When you believe, God works. When life gets hard, trust in God. He is on your side. God has a plan bigger than you have for yourself. He will never let us you or forsake you. He will never let us or forsake you. I think I'm misreading that. It reminds me too, as I'm looking on my camera, you might have noticed I ditched my goatee. I just kept looking at it. It's like something doesn't look right. It's not quite even. It's like just let it go. I think that was yesterday. I didn't even think about it until today. I don't know. Time's just sort of like it's its own dimension right now. I don't know. Like this whole month, it just seems time has just stood still, and I'm not even in a period of like days or weeks or minutes or anything like that. It's just all a moment. It's all one. And I'm just trying to get from one space to another. It's difficult to explain. Maybe it's just because I'm fasting. I'm kind of loopy. It's weird. And speaking of time and being surreal, yesterday, I think I remember sharing it was just a really, really bad day, but there was one really, really special moment that lifted my spirits. And it was a posting from Alex Ansary. Silly as it sounds. I remember mentioning earlier that I was really worried because he hadn't been posting. Maybe he was in jail, and it turns out he was. He was bullhorning or something outside of a guy's house that was all I know is as outside of a guy's house that was advocating porn. And it really reminded me of an older self. And the time when it was just a weekend, I think, where I was just trotting around Philadelphia with Alex. It was just such a really, really cool and memorable weekend. I really love to share more about it. He just such a cool dude. He reminded me a lot of myself, and he was the kind of guy where if you were with a group of friends and we were all going to barge in on a satanic ritual with super soakers and everyone was gathered around talking about the plan, him and I would be just not even waiting for orders and kicking down the door. He's never shy about bullhorn or and just quick shooting from the hip. I really respect that about him, and I really respect that he's just been on YouTube like it 15 years. I don't know, at least 10 years, like posting just about every day. And there isn't a moment on any one of those posts where you can watch one of those videos and he's not just pouring his heart for maybe a dozen viewers that are watching him at a time. He's never been a huge voice or a big influence in the world, but I really respect that he still shows up and does it. And he's just totally authentic doing it. He's not putting on an act or a show. He's just being himself. And it was a big catalyst to me wanting, like, getting my feet wet in YouTube too. Just doing this, even though there's no one watching. And I'm totally fine with that. I'm just trying to get my feet wet and get some experience. I'm trying to maybe keep up with Alex. Even though I'll never be that hardcore. Anyway, yesterday Alex had posted it was a show. He's just playing music as if he's like a DJ. It was a radio show. And I knew I could make an exception with my Exodus thing and listen to music because I knew that the music would be lifting me up to God. And all of those songs did, at least until he started to play Metallica. But I got a huge lift when I heard Michael Jackson. And then I heard Metallica, and I really, really don't like Metallica. And especially the lyrics to Seek and Destroy. I knew it wasn't lifting me up. I was not feeling better or empowered, and it's kind of where I thought listening to the show. Maybe that means something. But anyway, I'm just glad Alex is alive, back doing his thing. I'll post a link to his channel in case anyone's interested. Again, I don't believe 100% with anyone out there says. I'm not following someone because they're my guru or anything like that. He described himself as like a Max Headroom recently. It's just like this talking head that's entertaining. And I think he deserves more than being entertaining. But like I said, I'm just glad. Just glad he's out there and doing it. I hate to see him suffer, so I subscribed to his YouTube channel. I gotta throw him some bucks. I figure it's not breaking the Exodus 90 thing of no unnecessary purchases and more in the lines of charity. Because the guy's freaking homeless. Kick him some bucks. It's more like charity. So anyway, I'm checking off my Exodus 90 stuff. In case you're not familiar, there's all these disciplines. It's absolutely nuts. You have to do a daily reflection, which I did. Make a holy hour of prayer. I prayed a half an hour today, so I can't check that one. I made a morning offering. This is my nightly exam. I actually did get a full night's sleep last night, but that's been rare. I took a cold shower. No unnecessary smartphone use. No unnecessary computer use. I can't check that though. At my lunch, it was just so silent. And I should have watched the Exodus 90 spiritual thing, but I ended up watching a silly ass Luke Radowski video, and I'm just like a couple minutes into it, and I was thinking, this is ridiculous. I'm not learning anything. It's a waste. I was really just looking to see if Alex had posted anything. It's settled on Luke. Anyway, I can't check that. Giving up video games, piece of cake. I don't do that anyway. Or TV, don't do that. No alcohol, no sugar, sweets, no snacking in between meals, no desserts, no unnecessary purchases. Listen to only music that lifts the soul to God. I checked in with my anchor. I didn't eat any meat today. I fasted today. I have to fast on Wednesdays and Fridays. And I can't check that I exercise. You have to exercise 3 days a week. But I got most of them today. That's okay. I tell you this though, if I can't get my girl back, and that's the news tomorrow, I might just break the alcohol thing on Friday. To be continued. We will see. I talked way more than I thought I would, but I was just in it. See you tomorrow.